is walking in the fear of the Lord. You want to be okay mentally. You want your mind to be flushed from evil, from anything, disease, anything, things that will hold you back. Please understand that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of your step to having a good health mentally. Psalm chapter 1 verse 1 to 3 told us about a man. He said, blessed is a man that walk not in the counsel of the ungodly. So steps to walk in the fear of the Lord is that you must stay away from the counsel of what? The ungodly. You said, I fear God, and you walk with the ungodly. You don't fear God. Blessed is the man. It is even a blessing. You see, many of us, we are so blessed. Even when our account is not reading that, but there are certain things you do that the Lord called you blessed. So, what we call natural, that people are blessed, in the realm of the spirit, when God will look at such, he will say, this one, he's so poor in the spirit. Blessed are you when you walk in the fear of the Lord. And this man also delights greatly in the law of the Lord in the law of God. If you delight greatly in the law of God, so when you say you fear God, we are expecting you, according to Psalm 1 verse 1 to 3, to exhibit two attributes. One, you walk not in the counsel of the ungodly. Two, that you delight in the law of the Lord. If you still fumble with the law of the Lord, you don't fear him. A man that you fear, anything he tells you, you do, right? Walk in the fear of the Lord. You want your mind to be flushed from evil. You don't want the devil to hold you back, to hold you down with mental health. Walk in the fear of the Lord as you walk in the counsel of the godly, and also delight greatly in the law. The Bible says he shall be like a tree. So now you're not like a tree, planted by the rivers of water that bring forth its fruit in its season. His leaf also will not wither. And your leaf will not wither again. I pray for you, your leaf will not wither again. Whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Number 2, secret is walking in your visions and purpose. When you walk in your vision and purpose, you are entitled to have this mental health. That is what your vision and purpose will do to your life. Because it's like you have narrowed your life, your attention to what you have been called to do here on earth. A man who walks in his vision and his purpose does not even have time to be depressed, to be weighed down. Walk in your vision and purpose. Proverbs 29 verse 18. Proverbs chapter 29, where there is no vision, the people perish. You don't want to perish with depression. You don't want to perish with affliction. Walk in the fear of the Lord. Proverbs chapter 29 verse 18a. Bless the man where there is no vision, the people perish. You will not perish in the name of Jesus Christ. They perish with depression. They perish with worry. They wandered about on things that does not even matter to them. A man who walks in vision always will have a healthy life. In fact, a man, I had my Smoro of blessed memory said, a man who does not have a vision is not fit to live. Because what keeps you alive is what God asks you to do here on earth. So if you don't have anything he asks you to do, well, why should you be staying? Number 3, feeding on right materials. Feeding on right materials. Please, when I'm talking about feeding on right materials, I'm talking about both formally and informally. What do you eat? Formally, in form of the outside thing that you expose yourself to, the outside communication, the formal thing of the day, such as the government, the failing government of the day and all that. You must ensure that you don't feed on them. Some people feed on newspapers. The first thing they do in the morning is to tune to radio. That is wrong feeding. It will affect you mentally. You will be depressed because if the only place you can get good news is in God. Outside that, they say all manner of news, negative news, hurting news. I didn't ask you not to feed. I didn't ask you not to go and learn formally, but you would do selective feeding. You feed from things you think is profiting to you. Thank God you can, those of us that uses a big phone, you can type those things and it brings what you have asked for. So don't feed on things that are irrelevant, things that are detrimental to your rising. Formatting. And the informal thing also, that is things within your control. What do you feed on? What do you allow people to tell you within? And what are you telling yourself? Very important. In fact, what makes a feeding worthwhile is when you are fed by your pastor. Jeremiah chapter 3 verse 15. This is God telling you, I will give you pastors according to my own heart, that is God, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. So look at what your pastor is feeding you with. That social media, that the economy of the day will not feed you with. Your pastor is feeding you with knowledge and understanding. Knowledge, what you need to know. Understanding that you need to have so that you can apply those knowledge correctly. You can find that in God through your pastor. No wonder he said in Psalms 23, he prepared a table before me. If God prepared a table, he will make sure that whatever you are feeding from that table is not detrimental to your destiny. Society will feed you. Family will even feed you. Friends will feed you with negative things, especially when they see that your rising is bringing them into serious depression. They can choose to rewrite the story by feeding you with negative things. You must be careful of what you feed yourself with. Hosea chapter 4, verse 9. Of Hosea chapter 4, verse 9. And there shall be like people, like priests, like people. In fact, the essence of your pastor feeding is that at the end of the day, you are able to replicate what they carry. Like people, like priests. If you have not replicated the grace or the auction of God over the life of the servant of God that is feeding you, you have not done well to yourself. Either the pastor is not feeding you well or you are not eating correctly. They feed you well because at the end of the day, it's going to be like people, like pastor. That is, you must be careful who pastor you. Also, because like people, like pastor, like people, like the priest. The number 4 secret to mental health is consistency. Consistency has a way of improving your mental health. You are allowed to start anything small, but you are not permitted to remain small. It is an error to remain small. But what consistency will do is that consistency will give you the needed, repeated opportunity to keep rising to a greater height. Consistency on that which is good, not on that which is evil. Consistency. Improving on your character, improving on your yesterday, improving on your yesterday's success. That is what consistency is. Improving on your previous success. Improving on yourself. It could be a failure, but you improve on it. You know, I had said long time ago that life is like a race. When you fall down, people will think you bent to pick something. You can fail, but you are not permitted to remain a failure. So what consistency does is that you improve even on your failure. And it has a way of improving your mental health. Check your character. Grow again. You must have made mistake. Learn from your mistake. It is not bad to make mistake. In our journey, in fact, mistakes are part of the journey. But you are not permitted to remain in your mistake. So people hold on to their mistake. People hold on to their past. They don't even improve. They give up. They say, oh, since this was what happened, and let it be so. And they keep lamenting and worrying themselves about that. You must improve on yourself. Keep improving. You fall, you rise again. You keep on. You keep on. It has a way of improving your mind mentally. You see, something you failed from, now you have succeeded with it again. It improves your health mentally. It encourages you to do more. Quickly, as we close. Basic causes of mental breakdown.